Hey guys, my name's Nick and welcome back to the shop. I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to get a good edge on a chisel or a hand plane blade, and I think there's a lot of good content out there, but there's also a lot of people who seem to be putting a lot more of an edge on a blade than maybe the average person needs. If you've seen my last couple of videos, you know that I'm a big proponent of hand tools. Even if they're not the primary tool that you use, I think there's a lot of things that they can do that other tools can't. So without any further ado, let's get into the easiest way that I've found to get a serviceable edge on a chisel or a hand plane blade. The overarching strategy that we're going to use is to flatten the back of the chisel, sharpen it and establish the bevel, and then remove the burr afterwards. This video is going to focus on utilizing the sander and using the chisel down to get the inexpensive honey guides you find work well too. However, I find that I end up spending the first thing that I'm doing here is laying out where I want the side. So I have this digital angle so I'm going to set up the digital angle guide and then my plan is to transfer this line and cut it out on one piece and then rip the piece after the angle is already established so that I have two perfect meters. If the width is a little bit off on these, here we've got a 3/4 inch panel for the bottom, the two side supports that we just created, and a 1/2 inch piece for the top. The width of the top and the bottom piece aren't super necessary. If they're different, it's fine. The idea is just that we've got this square and parallel surface to be able to slide and reference the chisel on. It may not be intuitive, but right here I'm referencing both of the side support pieces off the edge of that bottom panel. It's important, I think, to align this top panel up in the same spot respectively on the side support so that you don't have an angled piece in the left to right direction. Here you can see the piece start to take shape a little bit, how we'll slide the chisel down on that top platform. And now I'm marking through the bottom panel so I'll start the screws from the top and then countersink from the bottom, and that'll give me perfect alignment when attaching the top to the base. As mentioned earlier, the first thing that I'm going to do is flatten the back of the chisel, and I'm using this honing solution on just a pretty inexpensive stone. There's nothing fancy here. I'm just grinding the first inch or two of the bottom on this stone. And what I'm looking for there is that there's scuff marks across the whole area that I'm concerned about. We don't necessarily need to flatten the whole thing as we're just referencing off the top. And then we can slide the chisel down on the piece. It's referencing on the top and then having a consistent angle going into the belt sander. I'm using just 80 grit sanding belt here, and it seemed to do pretty well. I'll try and go up further in the future, and that's certainly what we can do to get a nicer polished finish, but as far as serviceable goes, this should be fine. I'm trying to show you the little bit of a polished edge at the very tip of that, and the lighting isn't perfect, but I think you see the idea. And then I'm just bringing it over to a piece of leather and dragging it back on the back side, and then with the bevel upside down to eliminate any burr that's left on that. And here's a video of me just trying to kind of bevel the edge of some end grain of a 2x4 beforehand. You can see a little bit of chip out there. And then the same thing afterwards. The important thing here is to see how much smoother it takes off, and it doesn't tear any big chunks out. I know this was a bit of a shorter video, but I wanted to thank you for watching this far. If you like this video, I'd welcome you to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to put new content out every week, and I'd be happy to hear any recommendations you have. With that, have fun building.